to another edition of NIU Esports. So today we have our Overwatch 2 team taking on Ohio University. So back-to-back days of matches. So for those who were here with us yesterday, welcome back. And for those who weren't with us, also welcome in. Should be a really good one today. Ohio University, very highly rated team. I'd say very much improved from teams we've seen from this university in the past. I say this roster is incredibly good. They've done very well against teams that we have gotten lost to, and we're just excited to see the matchups go. I think both teams have much improved rosters over years past, and we'll be starting on Helios today.
Yeah, NIU from the stream room, they sound really excited right now. We just hear these, I guess, battle cries is the most accurate word.
Yeah, we, although we may be 50 feet away, the shouts and the screams are still very much present.
Yeah. I can literally hit a squeeze. So, yeah, it's going to be a good game. You might see on the roster for Northern Illinois, missing one of the most prominent DPS, returning player Tokotoro. He's on a bit of a trip right now, so.
Yes, Tokotoro not able to be with us, but I think that gives an excellent opportunity for Austie125. Austie125 to kind of take the reins and show the world what they're made of. I think they're one of the most improved players from just what I've seen from them personally. So I'm excited to see what they do in a starting position when the pressure's a little more on, especially against a team as tough as Ohio University, who's opting to go to the Roadhog.
I think
okay.
They just want
to get those hooks into the pit. So NIU, they're going to have to be cautious of these boops here. You have the Lucio and the Roadhog both posing a large threat. NIU going for a bit of a dive comp. That Winston Lucio, here we go. A little slow to engage. Have to respect that Roadhog's hook. Once that hook goes down, you're free to engage a little more. And you're trying to take a little bit of control of high ground away from Ohio. Poke still goes in. Flawless forced to Wraith out. Hoping that done on both sides. NIU commits to the engage. Picks off Kuna on the Sojourn. Crazy Ming ready to trade with the hook. Austie125 able to find water. Incredibly close to the team. Flawless gonna give that Roadhog a tough time with that Reaper.
NIU's doing pretty well though.
Yeah,
they won the fight. So.
NIU gets point.
Yeah.
Not easily, but trades back and forth. But I like the composition. What NIU is doing with it so far. Look ahead to the next fight.
Eraser's poking at him. Little zaps.
Racer's constantly, Racer and Flawless are, and Aussie are all constantly putting pressure on this Ohio team. Not making it easy, not allowing Ohio to have a clean contest here. But NIU at a very low health level, and looks like both DPS from Ohio State are actually going to pick off Racer and Flip Flop, and looks like this point's going to flip right back around.
Not much velocity there except for the reset.
So NIU coming up on Kitsune Rush, so expect, and you'd hope to see that being used early, so maybe try to find some kind of opening to work with. But you've seen on these control points even yesterday, once another team caps it, it could be incredibly hard to flip it, especially with a Roadhog. You have to be careful with those picks, but Roadhog misses the hit this time, Ming, on that lethal tank.
Yeah,
NIU a little split, so maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Some teammates were in, but some were looking to set up as an engage while others were ready to take the fight. So NIU already down one player, but not going to stop Racer from trying to make something out of nothing. Commits to Primal Rage, trades for beat. So maybe no picks coming out from NIU from this barrier, but get an important ult out. NIU is just going to have to go back to the drawing board here.
NIU's kind of getting held back now. They did lose a higher percent on the point.
Ohio pushing further and further into spawn. So still only one ultimate committed from Northern Illinois. No defensive ults from Ohio University, so potentially something big here from Flawless.
Yeah, I mean, without that beat on Ohio State or Ohio University.
Pulse bomb from Akusora, doesn't find anything. NIU tries to engage, utilizing that high ground. You see the ultimates not been popped yet. Something's going to have to change. And Austin falls before they're able to commit. Kitsune rushes out, but it might be a little too late. Racer and Austin both down. NIU's going to give up another fight. Only Kitsune rush used. NIU just trying to find an opening. Of course, it's you don't want to throw out. Flawless getting their ultimate canceled, but Food is in a stall situation trying to make something from nothing. But it looks like this point's going to go to Ohio. Crazy Man gets 3 picks. I think he's going to have to try and find something different kind of strategy for point 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely winnable. We saw NIU do really well at that first fight. But we did see just some, like they'd split up a little bit, or maybe they get picked. So I'm thinking hopefully they learn from these kind of little mistakes.
Check out the new
This is
Antler
definitely a winnable
album?
game.
Of course, yeah, but
Yeah.
definitely some
So,
issues getting
what you
set
think?
up and getting those team fights started. But as I was saying earlier, you don't want to commit an ultimate in a bad situation, but sometimes it's better to just use that ultimate, put some pressure on, than to just hold it. A lot of ultimate holding from the Huskies that round. You see, a bit more of a long-range battle. No Widowmaker on either side with that Sojourn and that Cassidy can provide some lethal damage from a distance. Both teams on the Tracer. It's gonna be a battle for Hayes and Flip-Flop in that back line, but I think NIU is prepared for this.
I will say, I do
Papita.
like that Jugger Queen pick. I think it's going to be I like playing Jugger Queen to Hog. Honestly,
That extra
it's a
temporary
good
help.
pleasure.
The ante on the Hog. NIU tries to focus fire and melt them down, and they finally do. Racer gets the pick. Austin falls. 4 on 4 onto point. NIU trying to take point presence. Wolo and Flip-Flop. Each team's trading a support. Try to make something work.
Got a little skirmish going on.
NIU has some tank on their side. Crazy Mang back on the Doomfist. With the headshot on the Haze. That might be it for NIU. Crazy Mang finds another pick on a Flawless. NIU takes this one.
Both teams really fought for that point. It was tooth and nail down to the end.
Yeah, that opening pick on the Hog was huge, but Ohio able to stay alive just long enough for the respawns to come in. But Flawless with the pulse button. Potentially able to get 1 if they're lucky 2. That. This Doomfist is going to cause even more trouble to that back line of Hayes and Flip-Flop. The heal has to be on point if NIU wants to make this work. And the Hayes gets picked off from Sojourn immediately. Kuna popping Railgun, gonna find the other support. And that is a near team clean fight
Yeah, I mean those are
from
some
Ohio.
rough picks.
It's kitty corner.
You see Racer going on the Doomfist.
In honor of the new One Punch Man collaboration, we have to see a Doomfist mirror.
I do like playing comp Overwatch. My tank stays exclusively at Doomfist. Never switches even when we need
The
them.
Krigo in the backline. Water directly in NIU's backline is able to get away for free. Doomfist putting a ton of pressure on Aussie. Gets caught out. Looks like this fight's another fight over before it really starts.
NIU down 2. Down 3.
Ohio doing an incredible job of taking the space. And Flawless opting to reset. You have 1 team fight left. Not a lot of ultimates to work with. It is an uphill battle for NIU. Try and make something work with Poke. Doing incredibly good. Nano and Kitsune Rush from Ohio being used right now. The cleanse cancels the sleep, but with the amount of damage that's being poured in from Ohio, it's going to be very difficult to outlive this. Austin already down. Racer finds a pick, but the rest of Ohio is right there to clean the rest of the team up. So Ohio takes a second point, a little bit easier than the first, and they will go up 1-0 in this series.
I mean, valiant effort from North Illinois.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a tough game going into it, and he's going to have to play their A game from here on out to try and turn this around.
This ends
Yeah, it
now.
seems clear. It's just uncontested on that high ground. Rain down all these sniper shots. Tree logs.
Yeah,
from
so,
our,
setting the tempo with those fast and aggressive ultimates, and really not looking back once they won that first fight on Ruins.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like Ohio might be making some substitutions, maybe reset, but I know you're going to discuss what maps to try out, I think. I mean, we've seen them opt for Parizo pretty much every time here, so I would not be surprised to see that again. Kind of go somewhat of a comfort pick, but when you're going against teams like this, you know, top 4, potentially top 3 teams in the conference, like Ohio, it's sometimes better to say just expectations internally. Obviously, you're always going to be shooting for a win, but just games like this provides an incredible learning opportunity for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to learn, right? But, ooh.
Kings Row,
You know what that means?
Reinhardt battle.
Yes.
So expect some brawl mirrors. So a lot of chaos, a lot of fast picks in the kill feed. Going to be happening for you in just a moment.
I'm excited. I love Kings Row. I think it's probably my favorite map. I'm gonna be honest. Like Lijiang Tower is up there at the top. I'd put Kings Row as a comfortable 2.
I agree. I'm actually quite I'm a defender of Eichenwald, except second point. Second point's kind of but Kings Row is the Dust 2 of Overwatch. It's comfort food. It's
yeah. You're right. I eat a lot of Kings Row when I'm feeling down.
The map for the soul.
What if the statues aren't made of gold? They're just made out of butter.
That seems very unsanitary.
I think they would melt.
Doesn't seem like optimal conditions. Seems like the health administration would be all over that.
Probably a little smelly. Does butter smell? If you leave it out, can it go bad?
No,
Like,
actually, okay. Settle this debate, chat.
mhm.
Do you store butter in or out of the fridge?
Oh, there's a clear answer.
Because I've
Come
seen
on.
it done both ways. It can be done both ways. It is safe to leave butter out on the counter. And it's always soft. You have a
But-
butter dish to cover it. I think my answer might be leaking a little bit here. My bias might be showing, but
All right. Well, my bias is probably showing, and I refrigerate my butter because I am a sane human being. I don't have like a little butter platter with like a little lid and like a little knife on the side.
doesn't it sound nice though the way you described it?
No.
It does.
It sounds like it takes a lot of space for some butter. That's why all fridges have like the butter shelf. Every fridge has a butter shelf. Open your fridge right now. And
Well,
I
that's
guarantee
its
you-
initial home. When
at
it's
the
when
top
it's
of
when
the
it's time to be
door-
ready, it goes out into the butter dish on the counter.
I mean, I guess it's just my family. We don't eat many meals. We just have like a stick of butter just out there, right? We just keep
Well,
it
you
in the
use it for your
fridge.
toast. It's always soft. You ever try to put cold butter, spread it across your toast? It's no fun. You always have soft,
That's why the toast is warm.
room temperature butter. Toast is not gonna be that hot to melt butter on contact.
I know. I like my toast charred black. If I'm not eating charcoal, I don't want it, you know?
If I cannot survive without a glass of water,
If it doesn't
next
take
to
like
me.
I just took it off the grill. And I mean the coals.
I like my toast well done, like my steaks. No, that's a joke. In the fridge, says Sean Boy. Okay.
Yeah, see, that's why I like Sean Boy Q. Is because Sean Boy Q is a butter fridge kind of guy.
But you know what's funny? I preach the positive.
Yeah, big bass in the fridge.
I preach the benefits of butter on the counter, but I actually in my current place I keep my butter in the fridge. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's
Interesting.
suspicious. It's a little suspicious.
I've lost all credibility.
And you're fired. What about bread? Where do you put your bread? Do you put your bread in the fridge?
No,
I've seen some people put their bread in the freezer.
it does give it a longer shelf life. I don't do it personally, but I understand those that do. Or you know, I'm not one to judge, but I personally wouldn't. But
Yeah. I see the value. There's a couple weeks ago. It was a long day. Really excited to get a grilled cheese. I go to my cabinet. I open it up. I get the bread out. I open the bag. I take it out, and it's green. I stopped right there. You know, I had the cheese out, had the plate ready, toaster
Oh.
plugged in,
oh man,
and I'm looking at just like this fungus in my hand. I'm like, oh.
That's like the equivalent of pouring yourself a nice big bowl of cereal, opening the fridge, and realizing you don't have any milk.
And
It just ruins
then
everything.
I comically throw the bowl full of cereal at the wall.
that TikTok. I think it was Vine days.
That's a Vine.
That's
yeah.
a Vine. So let's head back into the action.
Refocus. It
Focus.
looks like
Kings Row.
they're ready. And they're sending the ready messages in chat.
We're about to start on Kings Row. NIU still very much a fight in this. I think. I have a lot of confidence in the ball. That's something they've been playing a lot more lately.
Now enter.
It's something that doesn't require as much coordination for setup.
What a camera start spot. Just corner.
'Cause with Brawl, the core of it is you all need to play together. Whereas Dive is like you all need to be in very specific places at once to make it work at a higher level. Obviously, the lower ranks you play, the less organized you play, it's more forgiving. But when you're in these esports collegiate matches, they are there's little room for error with a Dive comp.
Ready for battle.
I don't think we'll be seeing Austin on the Bastion. But not be surprised to see this Pharmacy comp go out. So actually, not a Brawl comp. We've seen this before in a few matches from the Huskies.
Stay close. I can't heal you if you stray.
And then
I feel like the
Ohio
balls
going, yeah, Ohio going for the.
just destroys all the TVs.
I hope they have insurance.
I don't know if they have that covered.
They
All
don't,
right, guys.
they don't
thank you
cover Axe of
for
Faro.
joining the NIU Hearthstone. Here you go.
But Ohio State going for that traditional Brawl comp, the May wall. Gonna try and catch out some players, but I don't think Ohio's gonna be expecting. With a Kings Row pick, you expect that Ryan, you expect that May, that Lucio, but hopefully this Pharmacy pick is gonna catch him a little off guard. So NIU gonna have to play a little faster than they did on Elios. Looks like they're doing just that. Maywall able to find Osti though. He gets the pick early, so it's just a poke battle. Wallace finds a shot on Orlando, trying to get two. Up for flip-flop falls, and Ohio's gonna take this one.
He's trying to run out.
And looking to get set up for second point. Ohio just burning cooldowns. Osti invincible in the spawn. Bit of a regroup coming in. So yeah, just be cautious. Ohio has been incredibly good on capitalizing on mistakes. They will not let you get away with much. But if you minimize the mistakes, open the door up to getting a fast cap here on point A. Trying to do something happening with Doomfist. Poke still raining down from Flawless. Both teams trading damage. Racer finds a pick on the Kuna. No mercy on the side of Ohio to res it. And he's working with a 5-on-4 advantage. Looking to push in even further. Slow-o with the window to slow things down. Barrage here coming in soon
Right now.
from Flawless. So looking for exactly that. Well, the point is starting to tick. Barrage gonna use this a little bit zoning. Gonna get a tick off of that, but it looks like with the picks from Osti onto Osti and Racer, that's all they'll get. So one tick here, so technically this game, even if it ends here, it is very winnable. But if you're NIU, you have the capability to do so much more than just a tick. The focus fire, Ohio catching Racer out in spawn. NIU trying to have some sort of punish with the super aggressive pushing. Pulse Bomb doesn't find anyone. Immortality is burned though, which does give NIU an easier time for this next fight. Don't have to worry about that Immortality field that just got buffed recently. Much stronger ability. Kitsune Rush, the Blizzard, excellent ultimate usage. Throw the Blizzard right into the Kitsune Rush. It pretty much negates the fact, but Racer finally pick on Orlando and Kuna. They're hoping to try to get 3. Immortality back up for Slow-o.
Chasing him back. They don't know where to go in.
Space is there, but the solo shatter onto Racer, but the E from Flip-Flop gonna keep him up, but no one's capping point.
And he's got to slow down a little bit. Remember to hit the objective.
High Noon finds a pick on the Flip-Flop. It's gonna fall apart. So NIU had a ton of space to work with there, but no one was on point. Like NIU was playing very aggressively. Almost everyone had to be playing close.
Yeah, Flawless. Just taking himself out, you know, just get to the respawn faster.
So NIU swapping last second. A little bit more of a traditional brawl comp. Exception of Aussie still on the Tracer.
Yeah, I will say they did get one tick though. So that's
But half the point to work with. Might have had much more, but past is in the past. NIU trying to make something work with that. Reinhardt getting melted down, and the soldier on such incredibly low, and the sound barrier is going to keep everyone up. And that's tragic. The sound barrier being traded to keep Kuna alive. It's just going to fall apart for NIU.
Austy's on a stealth mission, but he was found.
10 seconds.
I think Austy. First he wanted to cap, and then he just wanted to survive.
So NIU does get the overtime triggered, but that's the all they'll get.
Oh, like a middle second too late to get that shatter. Folks, you hate to see it.
0-0. Switching sides.
So NIU has about 50% to work with. A stronghold
Initiating match.
from NIU will tie up this match, but it's not going to be easy against this Ohio team. It's absolutely, I mean, just patient play. You know, I talked a lot about the aggression with the ultimates last game, but I think the patience has been incredibly well from Ohio. To point out to the Blizzard from Kuna, once Flip-Flop popped that Kitsune rush, you throw a Blizzard right into the middle of it. It negates any of your team from being able to use that support ultimate.
Yeah, you get a little trapped in it, you know. You're in a bit of a haunch, I guess you could say. He's slowly making their way out. I'm really curious to see where the racer goes. My gut says he's gonna go Ramatra. Oh no, right.
Yeah, the Ryan is gonna be interesting, but I think NIU still not sure what they want to do. They're gonna have to move quickly here. Time to work with, but maybe that's a benefit because Kuna's gonna be looking for that opening pick on the Widowmaker. But if NIU's not there, don't have to worry about it. But no harm, no foul with the late picks. Everyone's back.
Austin took so much damage off the bat.
Ohio State, rather Ohio University, pouring in the damage. Nakasor finds a pick on the main tank, but NIU hoping to get that trade, but Nakasor is going to distract the backline a little bit. Crazy Mang does finally fall down, but NIU getting 3 players alive. It's going to be up to the Squishies to get it done.
You see Austy's kind of holding down the fort
Yeah,
here.
excellent wall here to slow things down a little bit. They're having great ability usage to
Yeah, Racer's back.
allow the respawns to come in. So back in a full fight again. I know that Discord Orb is going to give Racer such a difficult time. As you see, get shredded immediately. That Discord Orb is such a strong ability. Kuna finds the stick onto Flawless in that Cassidy mirror. And NIU can't give up this point here. They have to throw themselves on here, but the Nano onto Crazy Mang makes him essentially unkillable. The Blizzard going to zone things off, and Ohio's going to take their second map.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio just they had so much pressure just at that final fight. I mean, we saw credit to Austy because he kind of slowed it down on right with May, but it was just not enough.
Yeah, that was a good recontest for a little bit, and then just that Discord Orb and the pressure being put on Racer. I understand. Tank is personally my least favorite role to play just because of how big of a target you are and how much focus fire you are. You are the heart and you are the pillar of that team. So, I mean, when you're playing tank, you know you got to expect 5 players to be focus firing you during all points of the match. Given the added fact that you also have a Discord Orb on you, it does not make things very fun.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, I guess you could say.
Yeah. NIU taking far less time to pick their next map. They are ready. They know what they want to do, and we're going to be going to Dorado. Actually, something that I don't know NIU has picked yet. Typically, Rialto has been the pick, but I think in the last few matches we haven't seen the performances from NIU on that map that we've seen seen since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, Dorato's always loved and I've hated it. a lot of mixed feelings about this map. So
Definitely, definitely a Far Mercy heavy map, and NIU has been going back to that Far Mercy a good bit. I think. Honestly, talking with the players a little bit yesterday, I think something that I've noticed from Kent State personally is just there's a lot of hero swaps from NIU yesterday. It felt like every single point there was a complete team composition shift. When in reality, I don't think the team composition. You don't need to switch things up that much. Sometimes it's better to just stick what you're comfortable with and work from there.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm expecting, that, like you said, that flawless Pharah pharmacy combo. I'm not a big fan of Pharah, but I do like watching Flawless play Pharah.
I'm not a fan of playing against Pharah, but if I'm watching Flawless and Hayes go on that Far Mercy combo, sign me up.
Yeah.
Let me see. Speaking of Kent State, we have some lovely supporters from Kent State. Kent State, a good friendly rivalry of NIU. I know has been their warm-up scrim partner this year. In years past, NIU has often, kind of coexisted with Kent State. So we love our Golden Flashes.
My mom said we could have a pizza party with Kent State.
Really?
If their mom says that they can come.
Oh boy, please.
We could have a pizza party if your mom drives us. Yeah, much love.
See, NIU's still trying to navigate this meta a little bit. It's, we didn't get a chance to fully go over the patch notes yesterday. Kind of all the changes that have been made, and to be honest, the community is still figuring things out a little bit. But
they're pretty small, honestly. I don't feel we got any large changes.
Ball did get a pretty sizable nerf. I know that.
Yeah, that's one. The mines were just you'd hit the mines and instantly it was just a death field that if you just went into, you just lost.
Yeah. So it's incredibly strong. So we'll be looking to start things off soon. But let's take a look at some of the other matches that were going on around the week this week. So I believe, unless I'm mistaken, NIU and Ohio are the only match that's taking place today, because this is a rescheduled game. Originally supposed to be next week, but both schools are on spring break, so much needed rest is going to be wanted.
Yeah. Last spring break for some of us too, so.
There may not have been some games yesterday, but I know most recently Ohio and Kent State, so both our opponents this week went against each other just a couple days ago. Ohio getting the 3-1 victory there.
I think we need to check Ohio's PCs.
This is not normally.
Give them a little investigation. Send over the NIU mouse to go over and chew on their cables.
take out the internet. The ISP diff.
Yeah, we trained that mouse for several years, so he knows exactly what cord to cut. Just remove the power supply from the PC. But I assume he's getting maybe a prep talk right now.
Yeah, maybe going over some things.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta play comfortably.
Right.
Speaking from experience, going into these esports collegiate matches, especially ones later in the season when you have less of a room for error and you kind of know your playoff odds shift more drastically with every win or loss. The pressure only builds as the season goes on, so it's important to just stay relaxed, stay calm, and play your game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I had something I was gonna say, but I just completely forgot.
It'll come to you.
Eventually. Oh, I was gonna talk about confidence. Oh my gosh, yes. So that's one thing I've been working on a lot. I guess when I play games in my free time, it's just like being confident, you know, like just taking fights and saying, oh, I can win this. I can do it. I mean, obviously you want to be like smart, right? Like you don't want to, you know, peek someone that's been getting crazy headshots, but just confidence. I feel like that's some NIU. Definitely like a little. I'd say a little low for today, right? Because it's a good team. You're down one of your really good TPS. But I think if NIU is just really confident and just takes the right fights, loses the right fights, I think there's definitely a really good chance for them to come back.
Yeah. If you view a game as unwinnable, it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're gonna manifest that loss. But if you view it as doable, it becomes exactly that.
You know, the battle's mostly decided before it's fought.
So.
Yeah, that's deep.
Is that from the Art of War? Is that?
Maybe.
Never interrupt your opponent when making a mistake.
That's true.
Or in this case, definitely do, because you want to
Traveling to
get a pick. But
Initiating match.
Dorado, original Overwatch map. It's been here since the beginning. An OG.
It's like a big Dorito.
No, it's called Dorado, not Dorito.
Oh, I got it.
Dorado, I prefer Lay's.
More of a ways kind of. Yeah. Look, they even got Pikachu balloons.
I don't think that's Pikachu. I don't.
Wait, isn't this a gun buddy in Valorant?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a pinata one in Valorant.
No, there is. 'Cause I have it.
Specific pinata donkey.
Yeah. And then whatever this is.
First the Riot logo pinata hanging off.
I mean, I do have a right gun, but just drop that in here.
Bit of a flex.
Look at his eyes.
Interesting composition from Ohio.
I like a Junkrat. I feel like Junkrat on this map, honestly, if you get to the high ground, you're just raining on bombs the whole round.
I wouldn't expect
It's so
wouldn't expect to see it on attack because, I mean, there's so much verticality when you're on defense. It's almost like Shambali Monastery, the newest map.
2, 1.
So we'll take a look, see NIU going for a bit of a dive, but does not scout for the trap. So
The old classic iron
early
trick.
pick, you have to kind of reset. So NIU not gonna delay their push by about 10 seconds. Nothing drastic. There's flawless. Let's keep an eye on it.
Oh
Eye
no.
on them going for the flank. The deflect on a Junkrat. Almost finished them off flawless with the opening pick.
Can't
Might
beat
just
it
be what
anyway.
NIU needs. Suzu having to be burned. Keep Racer up. Ace being made, but when you have a close range character with a pellet shotgun spread like Roadhog, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be incredibly difficult for the Winston. But the boop gets Roadhog down. Aussie finds the headshot on the Kuna. NIU has to play this a little more aggressively. Respawns are gonna come back in too quick, and they're gonna do just that. Winston giving that Mercy an incredibly hard time. The bubble separated the team, but Crazy Ming wins the tank duel. She's getting picked off, and after Sora getting a pick up the run on the flawless, so does it. 3 on 3 at the moment. Flip flop. Finding that Junkrat pick.
Oh,
Does get res though. Hayes
Shame
narrowly
Hayes.
avoiding death, but I think NIU has to disengage a little bit, so you get almost halfway to the first checkpoint. You
yeah,
have,
it's pretty decent.
you're inching closely more towards Kitsune Rush as your next all, but Crazy Ming in that Roadhog, in that setup phase, in that poke phase, is incredibly dangerous. The ultimate punish character. Roadhog is going to punish you. If you're in hook range, they will try for that hook, and if you're as skilled as Crazy Ming is on tank, they're going to find that pick.
NIU just kind of getting grouped up and push in.
Valkyrie and Whole Hog up for Ohio. Not either are exactly ultimates that can win a fight entirely on their own, but still incredibly lethal. Valkyrie being popped, tired, soon to follow. Ohio maybe trying to get some picks. The deflect, and deflect burn.
Oh, fallen.
And it's a clean team fight win for Ohio. Just a couple ultimates being used. So NIU hasn't committed anything yet. Still a minute 40 left to go. About 2-3 fights.
Yeah, he's definitely, I'd say, got the ult advantage now. They got almost all of their ults.
Crazy Ming opting for stray away from that high ground. Misses the hook, so has a little bit of a window to push here. Not having to worry about it. And Ash incredibly low. Ball is going to try and clean it up. Finds the most important pick onto Mercy. Not going to be any reses for this fight. Racer and Posse follow through. Lando actually popped Tsune Rush. Forcing Flip Up to use it of their own, and the whole log's going to push Racer on point, forces them to use Primal Rage, and he's going to have to commit a lot to this, much more than we originally thought. If they can get the pick onto this Roadhog, Racer trying to zone him out and push them back further into the Huskies. But if they can't get this pick on here, the respawns are going to be coming hard. NIU, Osti, just what we need. Pick onto the Mercy again. First pick both fights. Ohio not going to give this point up for free.
Oh, no one's got a peanut allergy because that shot was kind of
Racer falls. Still ultimates being on the board for NIU. They do have the ultimate advantage here. They're going to see if they can get this without using it. Aussie still landing those railgun headshots, bringing Ohio incredibly low. Aussie and Hayes popping their ultimates, trying to make something happen, trying to open things up. Respawns are back for Ohio. And Racer falls. Crazy Meng, the trade hopefully to follow. Lando loses the Kariko duel to flip-flop. Trade's coming out from both sides. Ohio incredibly low. Kuna lives, and the whole hog's going to force NIU off point.
Yeah, that whole hog is just pushing Hayes so far back.
It's an excellent recontest from Ohio. Prevents NIU from capping first point.
0-0. Switching sides.
I mean, NIU they're winning some good fights.
Initiating match.
It's not quite holding doors at spawn. They're having some potential, but Ohio playing their lives incredibly well, and allowing the cart to push forward when they could making a test to get those respawns in and have an even better shot of taking point back. I'll have to see. I'm interested to see what kind of composition NIU and also Ohio gonna roll out with. I'll be surprised to see that Junkrat on attack.
Ready for battle.
I'll also be very surprised to see Symmetra too. The Winston, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, when you're tagging on Dorado first point in organized collegiate play, you're gonna need a tank with high ground mobility, vertical mobility to be more specific, to have any chance of getting an attack on that first point.
Yeah, and we do see the Racer.
Orisa, so survivability is kind of the key. That's what they're thinking. Orisa, hardest tank to kill in the game right now.
Yeah. Just does not die. Yeah, it is just a walking fortress.
Yeah, poke.
That throws giant toothpicks at you.
Yeah, a lot of poke. Looking to come in from Austin and Flawless. Turret being the 6th member, honorary Husky for the day, for the map. And they're going to try and send this to a map 4. Let's see if they could do it. Teleportation coming up. Kuna with the pick on the flip-flop. And I'm surprised to see some aggression from Ohio very soon with the main source of heals being taken out. And flip-flop stomping up at Anna onto Kriko immediately. So Ohio actually doesn't play aggressive, but Kuna, another pick on Aussie. So, I mean, when you're a Widowmaker and you've been proven to hit those shots, you create so much space by just existing. The opposing team is scared to even peek those long sight lines, and that Widow is still on the high ground as the cart pushes in, and NIU not gonna be able to touch here. So the pressure too much for NIU to even touch, and Ohio takes this one 3-0.
That was just a consistent push from Ohio there.
Yeah, I don't know if the cart stopped moving, but I mean, props. Entire Ohio team played incredibly well today, but have to give props to Crazy Meng and Kuna specifically. They did an incredible job today. Sunny drops back-to-back games. Not exactly the most fun doubleheader week, but it's matches that you learn from, and I know the team's gonna take a good look at these VODs and learn from this and come back stronger.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the season, and he's got a lot of games still. They're going to have a lot of time to kind of relax, practice, review their strategies, so.
Yeah. So, we'll take a look ahead. Next week, spring break, so there'll be no esports collegiate matches in general, neither for League of Legends or Overwatch. But the next stream will be this Saturday, so right before spring break gets officially kicked off. our League of Legends team will be closing out their season against the University of Akron. Should be a fun one to watch.
Go
So-
League.
Go out, support our league team. Done a great job this year, and we love them. So
Yeah.
give them support, and then keep an eye out. I know there's been some talks of rescheduling NIU Overwatch's next game, but keep an eye out on our social media channels for a couple weeks, and we'll have more information on when our match against Miami University as well as Toledo University. Those are slated to be the next couple games. So
Yeah, it's gonna be hype.
thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a fantastic night.
Hang tight, everyone. Or hang loose, I guess.